My fiance and I live together near the ocean, with many tourist attractions nearby. My family from all over the world regularly visits and stays with us. In return, we stay with them when we visit their cities for various reasons: work, vacation, etc. Last year, I had to travel to the city where my brother lives, and my fiance decided to visit him and his family. She asked if we could stay with them, and he declined because he's still protective of his family due to the world event. I understood at first, and we stayed at a hotel, but later got annoyed because they had no problem going to dinner and out with us in public. Earlier this year, I had to return to his city, and she came to visit them again. He again declined her request to stay at their house, so we stayed at a hotel. I understand some people just don't like to have overnight guests. The visit went smoothly, and everyone had a good time. Last week, he called to ask if he and his family could stay at our place when they came here in a couple of weeks for their vacation. I got really annoyed at this because he didn't let us stay at his house, but wanted to stay at ours. I told my fiance they could stay at a hotel, but she argued they would need 3 rooms for 7 days due to their family size. She then pointed out we always let my family stay with us, at which point I countered with, "That's because we're always invited to stay with my family whenever we visit their cities." She argued family does things for each other without expecting anything in return. We went back and forth until bed last night. I'm sitting here having coffee while she's sleeping, and I'm unsure if I'm wrong. On the one hand, I know I can be stubborn and petty. On the other hand, he doesn't invite us to stay with him while expecting us to house him and his family. Am I the idiot for letting my family stay at our house, but refusing to let my fiance's family do the same? Not the idiot. Tell him because of the world's event, you'd feel better if you stayed at a hotel. Don't say it's because you didn't let us stay. Also, how many rooms does your house have? They might need 3 rooms in a hotel, but if your house is small, they're willing to cramp themselves to save cost. How long do they plan on staying? Did they choose your city, though it's touristy, because they thought they'd get free accommodations? Would they go somewhere else if they had to pay anyway? Not just rooms, but how many bathrooms? 3 motel rooms generally mean 3 bathrooms. Interesting, depending on how many guest rooms and bathrooms you have available. I might suggest a local Airbnb, but I'm petty enough that you can't have 2 adults for a short visit. Not sure I'm going to inconvenience myself for a large family for a week. How will you buy food? Are you expected to take time off work and be the tour director? Are you expected to give adults a date night and babysit? Though if the family has lots of children, their house may not have extra space or be very run down and the family's embarrassed. I wouldn't let them stay. That's what I was thinking. They can't accommodate 2 adults, but expect them to find room for 6, including kids, for a week? Nuts! I would die on this hill, simply because I don't want that many people in my home for a week. And brother-in-law shouldn't have planned a vacation if he couldn't afford a hotel. She argued that family do things for each other without expecting anything in return. That's not actually true. The reason family and friends do things for each other is that family's supposed to be a mutually supportive group in which everyone contributes in some way, according to their ability. Sure, you aren't keeping score in a quid pro quo way, but the model works on reciprocity. But if they just don't want to be inconvenienced by you, you aren't obligated to offer them free vacation lodging. Update. We have a 4-bedroom house with many air mattresses. All of his kids are over 10, and his wife is bringing her sister along, and she needs a bedroom of her own. No one in his family has any disability or condition. My fiance just told me whether they stay with us or not, she's letting her brother borrow her car for the week so that they'll only have to rent 1 car. This means we'll have to carpool that week. This is even more annoying, as that would add about an hour to my daily commute. My fiance is a better person than I am. I can be very petty when I'm annoyed, which is why I usually take cues from her and go with her decisions in certain situations. In this case, I'm very annoyed, which is why we're in an argument. My 25 male, sister Rosie, 29, and I had a very close bond ever since we were kids. Our parents got divorced, and we used to live with our mom, who was an addict. She was abusive and neglectful. Through all that, My sister was my biggest rock. She protected, cared for, cooked, and raised me till I was 13. Afterward, we started living with Dad, and things got so much better. She passed away 2 months ago from ovarian cancer. We were prepared for it, but it was still obviously very hard. After her funeral, I told my girlfriend, she was staying with me for a week as her house was having some work being done, that I was going to be spending time with my family that week. They live close by. She was kind of salty about that, but it was sorted soon. I'm doing better now. Sis loved roses. Her name was Rosie too. So as a memory, and to pay respect to her, I've decided to get a tattoo of a rose. Nothing big, just about 2 inches on my upper arm. My dad decided the same. I was telling my girlfriend about it, and she got very angry and started screaming about how disrespectful it was to tattoo another girl on me. I told her it's my sister we're talking about, and my dad's getting one too. She said that's different. She started screaming, so I walked away. She's now gotten her friend involved, who says the only way I should get that tattoo is if I also tattoo my girlfriend's name on me, and she agrees. I think that's stupid as heck. We've been together for a year, and she expects me to tattoo her name on me? She then proceeded to say how I must love her sister more than her, and I told her that's not a fair comparison, and it's a different love. She isn't ready to listen. I don't know why she's so bothered by her. When my sister was alive, she lived close by too, and I used to visit her twice a month. Some siblings might not be close, but we've always been. It's not like we were touchy around my girlfriend because we're both not affectionate. My girlfriend thinks it's incredibly selfish and disrespectful to her that her boyfriend has some other girl tattooed on him. I don't see how. My sister and my girlfriend used to get along, but now she says sis is dead, so I need to let her go. So, am I the idiot? Oh my God, not the idiot, but leave her. That's absolutely wild behavior. Rational people would not act like that. This reeks of toxic insecurity, and this is not something you can work out rationally. Sorry about your sister. Your girlfriend is insane. Her friend propping her up is insane. Run. Jesus, another woman tattooed on you? Seriously? Wow, I'm speechless. You're getting a memorial tattoo for your sister, not some girlfriend or fling. If your girlfriend can't tell the difference, that's on her. What she and her minions are demanding is unreasonable at best. She's definitely out of pocket on this. Reevaluate your relationship. Your sister just passed, and instead of being supportive of you, she's getting snotty about you spending time with your family and over a tattoo. That's not what a supportive partner looks like. And yes, run. This person needs to be your ex, with good reason. You deserve better. Update. So, to sum it up, I ended it. She came over the same evening, getting out of the car, and asked me where I planned to tattoo her name. Yep, I didn't let her come in. I told her I didn't want to deal with her crap, on top of missing my sister. I'm getting the rose tattoo, and we're done. I've never in my life heard someone yell so loud, out on the porch. She began accusing me of being in love with my sister, and how we had an inappropriate relationship, which is why I miss her so bad that I'm ready to ruin our relationship. I'm so glad I left her because what kind of sane person says something like that? I was so disgusted that I called her names and slammed the door in her face. I'm not proud of it, but it was so revolting, even to think my girlfriend would think that about someone so close to me. She shouted for about 10 more minutes and then left. It's my sister's birthday tomorrow. I've made an appointment. My dad and I are getting a tattoo. Thanks and have a good day. I'm male 26, live with my friend, male 26. We're roommates. Last year, his girlfriend, 24, moved in with us. During this time, she and I have also become good friends. The three of us have a good friendship, and we don't have major issues with our living situation. So the thing is that she's pregnant now. She's 7 months along. She had her baby shower yesterday. Last week, I went to a baby store to buy a gift for the baby. There were a lot of cute clothes and things, not just for babies, but also maternity clothes and pillows and stuff like that. So I bought a gift for the baby, and I saw a cute pink nightie with some lace around the edges. I thought it was cute because in the front was a drawing of a baby sleeping on a cloud, and it said, "Shh, baby sleeping." I don't know. I saw it and I thought it was something cute, so I bought that as well to give to her. I gave it to her at the baby shower. It was not a big deal. She joked about modeling the pajama for me the next morning while she was making cereal for breakfast. At the time, my friend laughed as well, and he also agreed that the drawing was cute. However, yesterday he told me I was kind of off for gifting his girlfriend slinky lingerie. I mean, the dress had some lace on it, and it's short, but that's not why I bought it. I got it for her because I thought it was cute. He said that was fair, but that it was weird that it had such a deep neckline, like I wanted to see her breast. I told him what the lady at the store told me, that it was like that to make breastfeeding more accessible. Still, he was upset and told me that I was overstepping boundaries. He was upset with me. My theory is that someone else, perhaps someone from his family, may have told him something like that, implying that I'm trying to steal his girl. But almost everyone is saying that I'm in the wrong here. Is that so? I'm going with not the idiot, because I think it's crazy that something with a picture of a baby on it could be considered racy. Honestly, it's obvious it's just a silly gift, almost a gag. And it doesn't seem like the girlfriend was uncomfortable either. I think the boyfriend may get jealous of your relationship with his girlfriend. I'll admit, her little, "I'll model it for you" comment would have made me uncomfortable if I were the boyfriend. I'm going to go against the grain and say no one is the idiot here. It's not like you went out and bought her Victoria's Secret baby dolls. You added a gift for the mom to your baby shower gift. I asked my husband for his input, and he agreed it was kind of weird until the context was revealed, and you bought her a gift to help with those very hard first few months of PP. I don't think you're an idiot at all. I think you did something you thought was kind for someone you considered a friend. The girlfriend's an idiot. Offering to model the outfit was inappropriate. OP, I understand why your friend's upset. That was a bit too intimate. A t-shirt design would have been more appropriate. So yeah, your intentions were probably good, but you made a misjudgment. Now you know better. If I were you, I would apologize and explain you didn't understand why the gift was inappropriate, but you get it now, after giving it some thought and hearing other people's perspectives. Seriously? It's a postpartum nightgown made for easy breastfeeding with the cartoon baby on the front that looks about knee length. People are acting like OP bought her a corset and matching string. "I'll model it for you" does not necessarily mean anything. It can also be like, "LOL, wait until you see me wear this silly thing." Imagine having this much insecurity over a friendly joke. I'm 5 months postpartum, and our daughter is breastfed. My 30th birthday was on Thursday, and I wasn't able to go out that day due to my husband working and no sitter. But he told me to make plans with my girlfriends for yesterday because he didn't work, and this way, I could pump extra just to be on the safe side. This would have been the first time I had done anything over 1.5 years. Anyway, Saturday morning, his buddy wanted him to go snowmobiling with him, so he asked me if that was okay. And I said yeah, as long as he was back by 7 p.m., because that's when I was leaving. He said he'd be home a lot earlier than that. Well, around 4 p.m.-ish, I got a text from him saying that his buddy got the snowmobile buried because he went off trail and they were trying to dig him out. I reminded him that I had plans to leave at 7 and told him to be safe and quick about it because they were an hour from his buddy's house on the trails. Needless to say, he didn't come home until 10 p.m. and he had been drinking. He said he only had 4, but that makes no difference to me. I told him to sleep on the couch, and in frustration, I cried myself to sleep. I haven't been able to do anything, but bear in mind that he's been able to go out at least once a month since I got pregnant. So this morning he got up and tried apologizing to me and said he would make it up to me somehow, but I simply told him I didn't want to speak to him right now, and his actions really hurt me. All day he's been trying to corner me into discussions about it or trying to wrap me in hugs, but he won't leave me alone, like I said. So I've not only started avoiding him, but also giving him the silent treatment. He's now angry with me and saying I'm being childish and that this was a one-off. He's never done this before. So given that it's a one-time mistake, I should be more willing to forgive him. I understand that this is a one-off thing, but given that it just happened to fall on the one time I had plans that he told me to make, I find it wildly coincidental. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Start making plans to go out once a week. Your husband should be taking care of the baby, not a sitter. He needs to experience what it's like to take care of a baby. So go out to the spa on a Saturday. Meet your girlfriends twice a month for dinner. Go to the movies. Take a fun class. It's your husband's turn to be a dad. And when he asks if he can hang out with his buddies on a day that you have plans, the answer is no. He's uncomfortable with his guilt and is trying to manipulate you into being okay before you're ready. He doesn't care that he abused your time and feelings. He cares that his doing so is inconvenient. You're not giving him access to your companionship and intimacy. He seems to believe that experiencing guilt or remorse is the punishment or doing the work. He doesn't get to decide when he gets forgiven under the guise of cornering you to talk about it. Totally, I'm mad at you for being mad at me. Exactly. How dare you still care about my egregiously poor behavior less than 24 hours ago? He acts like he forgot to pick up the dry cleaning. What he did would have left me unspeakably angry and ice cold. You didn't get to go out on your 30th, and he promised you that Saturday was your time to celebrate. He was a complete idiot. He made a very deliberate choice. Several. How do people end up in relationships with others they seem to hate? My sister and her 3 kids are living with us for the next 3 months. That's when her HUD housing becomes available. Slowly, my sister's been setting rules with me, like she owns the place. She goes to a psychiatrist and has new rules and boundaries with me every time she comes home. Recently, she's gotten her and her kids into clean eating, and she insists if I grab fast food, I should eat it in a car for her kids not to see me bring it in. The new one is that she created a chore chart at her psychiatrist session so I can do my part at home. She's living rent-free and works only 16 hours a week. She tried to tell me she felt like a live-in servant because the house was always dirty. I never had a problem with keeping my house clean with just me, and the house is probably dirty because of her and her 3 kids. We got into an argument about boundaries and rules, and she suggested I go with her to her psychologist next week so they could both talk to me. I told her I think she should find other living arrangements because my place is terrible for her. She said I was being mean and she was just asserting her boundaries. I told my sister she could go assert those boundaries in a homeless shelter or go live with her psychologist because it's my home and I'm not changing my routine for her. My sister's literally locked herself in her room with the kids and has been crying for hours now, but I think her rules are inconsiderate to me. Her psychiatrist can kick rocks because this isn't my sister's home, and she shouldn't be trying to enforce chore charts when it's her and the kids wrecking my place every day. Boundaries? Who's her therapist, Jonah Hill? LOL, not the idiot. She doesn't have to set rules and boundaries about your house. I bet her psychiatrist doesn't know she's living there rent-free. Ask if you can accompany her to a session one day. Honestly, I wouldn't even get involved with going to a psychiatrist with her and giving any credence to her boundaries BS. Her poor kids. I can't stand people co-opting terms like boundaries to try to force others to behave in certain ways. That's not a boundary. A boundary represents a standard of acceptance, and if your messy home isn't meeting her standard, she can enforce her personal boundary by finding somewhere else to stay. Yeah, this is full-on weaponized therapy talk. I'm so curious how she spun this to her psychiatrist, if there even is a psychiatrist at all. OP, this is the time that you get to set a boundary and rules with the consequences of your sister getting 48 hours notice that she needs to move out if she doesn't follow them. And I would make sure to include everything that you possibly can think of. If she doesn't agree, she leaves. You could give her a hands-on lesson since she seems so curious about boundaries.